Good morning. It's Sunday the 18th of October and I'm about to head down to Spring Lake to go kayaking and camping with the new Nemo Dragonfly tent. And I've just loaded the kayak. I've got all my camping equipment on board, so I will see you down there. So that there is the trail that we walk our dogs along every morning. Not this morning, we tried another trail earlier on today because the lake's getting quite crowded. It's one of the few places left that hasn't been burned, so more and more people are coming down here now. But we found another spot about 20 minutes away down near Jack London State Park, and we're taking our dogs around there in the morning now rather than down here, because if we're careful about it we can sneakily let them off the leash because there are so few people around, but you can't do that here. Listen to how quiet it is. It seems the water's very shallow. See how shallow. Oh yeah, that's about half the shaft, so it's about I don't know, maybe 4 feet. But it's probably about 2 feet lower than it normally is after we've had good rain. So there are swans, 2 of them. We've actually counted 4 lately. And dead ahead is one of the hills of Annandale State Park, where I've regularly hiked. Can't do it at the moment because there's a big burn area in there. So they've closed that to the public for probably the next month, I'd say, while there are still some areas that are vulnerable to fires as the fire season comes to a close. Right, there's that breeze spinning me around here. Okay, so now approaching the South Dam. And that big eucalyptus tree right there in the center of the picture that always reminds me of Australia. And there are times when we walk by there in the morning, after we've had a little bit of rain maybe, and you can smell it, and it just smells so fresh. Anyway, it is 90 degrees, so I'm going to finish here and head to the campground and set up my new tent, and we'll see how that looks. So stick around. Right, so here we are then at Site 14 at Spring Lake, and I'm going to pan round and show you the whole campground here, which does not look all that busy today. It was very easy for me to get a reservation for the best site here, and actually, since I have an annual pass, I get 1 free night's camping. That's one of the benefits of having the pass. So the pass pretty much pays for itself almost immediately, since we're here every day with the dogs. But anyway, let's just walk down the trail here to the actual campsite. And you'll see, as I explained, that we're going to get a good view of the lake. Actually, you can already see the lake through there. Right down there, just over the table. And there's one of the other campsites through there. You can see why this is the most popular side, because you get the all this shade in the afternoon on what is a very hot day. That's very welcome. Anyway, here's where I'm going to be tonight. Look at that. Ordinarily I'd be able to have a fire, but not tonight, because we're still in fire season and they don't want embers igniting all this dry bush that you see around us, where we haven't had rain now for 7 months. Okay, I hope this doesn't look too crazy, but this is my regular camping pack, and it's from REI, along with pretty much everything else that I have. And we're going to take out this new Nemo Dragonfly 2-person tent and set it up here. So bear with me. Okay, so from go to woe, including changing position and trial and error and everything, that was about 20 minutes. And I'd never put that tent up before, so it was pretty intuitive. And it's kind of nice. I've still got to tighten some things and make it look a little better. But like the loose flap here, I can tighten that on the fly. But I can already tell this is a good tent, because you've got this huge vestibule area here between the fly and the tent. And notice what I've done is I've rolled half of the fly back, and it's all held in place by this little loop. But just to compare that to the other side, you see it actually zips up just like that. And by pulling the zip all the way up here on the grey line, I can do the same thing over here. It just rolls back and then attaches to this loop here with the little catchets on the inside. So this is a pretty well designed tent. It is very warm though, so I'm probably going to take the fly sheet off for tonight. It's because it's not going to be cold at all. Right. I'm now going to have some tea, and there's my water boiling in my jet boil stove. So let me just turn that down, and then there is my afternoon tea. So back shortly. Let's just look inside now and see how well laid out this is. As I said, you've got this big vestibule that you can step into here and then reach down and pull this back. So this is it. I've got an inflatable bed which can be blown up in no time, and that's about where I need it to be, just enough to keep me off the hard ground without making me breathless. And this is an old Australian Army Vietnam era silk sleeping bag, which is all I'm going to need tonight, because it's not going to be very cold at all. And a travel pillow and my stereo headphones, because I've got my iPhone with me, and my headlamp in case I need to get up in the night, the eye shades, and the ear protectors, which I'm not going to need, the earplugs. I only need that when there are a lot of people here making a noise, and there aren't going to be tonight. And there's another vestibule on the other side of the tent, which they recommend you can use that. Just open this other door here, and like that, and then just drop your pack in there, and your pack is then out of the rain as well. Hey, so before I turn in for the night, I just thought I'd show you this, because it's a bit like the setting for an episode of Star Trek. Just look around. Just like this barren, desolate planet that I've just beamed down to. And if it weren't for that chainsaw that's probably cutting down burnt trees, you wouldn't hear a sound. It would really look like a wilderness. So I've said before, I'm really glad that we have Spring Lake Park so close to us, because there's so much I can do here: camping, kayaking, hiking, and it also butts onto several other parks. Spring Lake Park is operated by the county of Sonoma, but it butts onto Annandale State Park, which is on that hill over there and beyond it, and also onto Hood Mountain off that way, which is another county park. And then there's also Sugarloaf Mountain, which is state park, and Jack London State Park, and then Sonoma Valley County Park, where we walked dogs this morning. And all of those things are within, I think, a 20-minute drive of our house. And in fact, from here, if I jumped into my car from right on this very spot and drove home, it would take me about 10 minutes. And I'm just going to show you one of these little cabins, because they opened these about, I don't know, 2 years ago, I think. They added them to the campground, and they sleep about 6 people. It's only got 2 chairs there, but we could borrow some more from the others if they're not in use. And they've got a campfire ring and a barbecue grill and a picnic table and a locker outside. Yeah, it's quite nice, this. I've never stayed in one. And then inside, it'll take 6 people, all in bunks. And they've got, what is it, 3 or 4 of them, I think. But they don't have any Wi-Fi or utilities hooked up, and they don't even have their own showers. The showers are just through there. But they're right on the edge of the campground, overlooking what, it looks like, as I said earlier, a scene from another planet. Just rocks and trees with lots of moss on them. So it's a great night to be camping out, especially here. So I'm going to walk back to my tent. So here I am in the tent, and it's very roomy. I'm going to turn this round a second and show you, but I've got my little headlamp up here in the mesh ceiling, which diffuses the light all around the tent. So there's my headlight up there, and there's all of the tent. And as I said, it's quite big. I'm lying on my bedroll here, and I've got my pack in here with me. And I've got all this stuff up here, my headphones, my water. I've still got room here for a dog, and that's actually inside the tent. That's not including the vestibule. So this is actually quite roomy, and I'm impressed. A lot more room than my other one, and it's much lighter, and it doesn't take up as much room in my pack, but I get all this stuff, so it's pretty good. And there's even a little loft here between the top of the tent and the fly where I could put stuff to dry, stuff like my kitchen cloth and face flannel and stuff like that, and it would get plenty of air going over it. I could even take the fly off and just gaze at the stars, but I'm not going to do that. I've peeled the sides of the fly back, so I do actually have quite good sight out of the tent. The camera probably won't pick it up, but there is quite a bit that I can see outside the tent. Okay. lights on turning in, and I'll see you all later.